Welcome to the dumbest smart guy podcast on the planet. This is the Central Unintelligence Podcast.
Oh, yes. This is going to be a fucking great episode. I don't know how long it's going to go, but it's going to be fucking great to talk about this. We're going to talk about this is going to be an America-centric fucking episode since Iran is still fucking blue-balling everybody with whatever they're going to fucking do. And at this point, they might as well not even fucking do anything. But anyways, we'll give a little, maybe a couple updates on the Ukraine, maybe a little bit. I don't know, maybe not. We'll see. But anyways, my name's Josh. I'm here today with good buddy Frank.
What's up?
And this is Central Intelligence Podcast. And if you want to hear our other podcasts, go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter /X at Game Rage Mag, YouTube, Game Rage Magazine. You can also go and follow Frank on the Anime Syndicate podcast and go listen to that at anime_syndicate_podcast. And you can also go and follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official. And you can also go and listen to the All Gas No Trash podcast. All right. So there was a case that just happened, or a judgment, an order out of the U.S. District Court, the Federal Court of Kansas. So there was a guy that was charged with possessing machine guns. Okay. Essentially, what he was charged with possessing a machine gun and machine gun conversion device because he owned a Glock and he owned the Glock switch, which is able to...
Stupid.
It is stupid, but it's able to be turn a Glock into a full auto handgun. Okay, so the defendant argued that the plain text of the Second Amendment applied to what he was doing by saying that the standard requires, is that a lock?
No.
Is that a calendar?
No.
Is that a tumbler?
Nope.
What is that? That's cool. I don't know what the fuck that is, but it's cool.
It's a D20.
No fucking way.
Yeah.
That's fucking cool. How much is that?
Right now it's $40.
Maybe we can, dude, what if that was the new Consequence die?
Oops.
That's pretty sweet.
But I'm thinking that each ring is a different die.
Oh shit, so you could use that instead of die.
No, it looks like it's only three rings. So
it's a D20?
D20, probably a D10 or 12 and a D6.
Interesting. Well, we'll talk about who makes it later.
It's on Kickstarter right now, so.
Oh, okay. That's cool.
Just trying to find out which one. So you have two options.
Okay.
The gold one does D20, D12, and D8.
Okay.
It's called the Holy Dragon.
Nice.
And then the silver one, which is called the Shadow Mage, does the D10, D6, and a D4.
Oh, okay. So if you bought both of them, you could basically have everything.
I don't think your phone can fit both of them, though.
Wait, it's a phone?
It's the thing that goes on your phone. Like the pop-ups?
Yeah. You just have both of them just out on the table and you don't need dice anymore. You can just do that.
You could, but,
I don't know. That's kind of cool. So it's a magnet thing for the phone.
Yeah, for your iPhone.
That's interesting. Cool.
Because that was that Maglock.
It's pretty dope. Anyways, back to this.
Slowly killing the iPhone.
So the Second Amendment is what they're saying is that they argued that under these two things that the definition of a machine gun encompasses everything from an aircraft-mounted automatic cannon to a small handheld taser or stun gun that can easily be placed inside a handbag, which shoots multi-shot bursts of electrical particles with a single pull of the trigger. So it's basically, well, no, it's saying like a taser. Like if
if it shoots multiple at once, wouldn't that be a shotgun?
No, what it's saying is it fires multiple pulses of electricity while the trigger is pulled. So technically, that is defined as a machine gun. But
it's not a projectile. It
is a projectile.
The two prongs is the projectile.
Yeah.
It's not firing those two again.
It doesn't. Yeah, but it doesn't say. It just says something fired from the gun, which the electricity is fired from the gun. So technically, what they're saying is that it falls.
I don't say electrical current is fired.
Well, what they're saying is the way that the code is written, it reads that counts as a technically a fully automatic machine gun, according to the way the text was written.
So you would consider the wad a projectile?
No,
shotgun?
I'm just saying that.
I'm just saying, in that same argument, that makes...
Well, it doesn't matter because the shotgun shoots multiple projectiles.
No, but I'm just saying, in that argument, the wad is a projectile now.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. It's all fired. Multiple projectiles are fired.
I get. I'm not saying the shotguns. I'm just saying that's by that same logic, a wad is now a projectile.
I mean, technically, it is.
So if the blank that killed Brandon Lee would be considered a projectile.
Yeah, it fired something out of the gun. It fired a projectile.
So then,
whether it was intended to be a projectile or not is irrelevant.
So then, what does that do with airsoft then? Yes,
it's a projectile.
Again, so does that make it a machine gun now?
I don't know what the full code is, but what they're saying is that the code reads that this like a taser could be considered a fully automatic weapon the way they read the code. Is what they're saying. So anyways, but what the government or the judge ruled was that the plaintiff is charged with 2 counts of machine gun possession. Both counts apply to arms that can be carried in the hand. Mm-hmm. Thus, by definition, the machine gun and Glock switch are bearable arms within the plain text of the Second Amendment. It said that the government has not met its burden under Bruin and Rahimi, which are 2 previous cases, to demonstrate through historical analogs that regulation of the weapons at issue in this case are consistent with the nation's history of firearms regulation. Indeed, the government has barely tried to meet that burden, is what they wrote in the thing. Basically saying that the Second Amendment, like, you can't override the possession of machine guns. Technically, according to to keep and bear arms. Mm-hmm. This is an arm, a bearable arm, meaning your right to have it cannot be infringed upon.
So this is an argument I had with my sister. And it's out of all the anti-gun arguments, the one I consider to be the dumbest one is that the founding fathers did not know that machine guns could be made. Or otherwise they wouldn't have made the amendment, the Second Amendment. Mm-hmm. Which is, to me, is the most asinine thing I've ever heard. Mm. Not even mentioning the repeating rifles, the repeating pistols, and the early stages of the Gatling gun. Yeah, were in that era. Maybe not the Gatling gun, but repeating rifles. The Kentucky repeating rifles was becoming a thing then. So the progression of firearms has already begun. Yeah. So any person could have made that correlation that, hey, guns are going to become fucking sick eventually. Right. But throwing that to the side. Yeah. So by their logic, the internet, radio, television, all those things should not be protected by the Fourth, Fifth, and Ninth Amendment that they're protected under? Mm-hmm. And the first, obviously. Yeah. Because there's no way the founding fathers would have had a working knowledge of the internet, radio, and television. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's the stupidest argument I've ever heard. Yeah. Now, as a person who is like... Again, I'm super pro-gun, but I'm also a person of logic. Mm-hmm. So far, very few gun laws make sense. Right. I don't even think, at this point, I don't even think the ATF know what a gun is anymore. That's true. My pistol has a little bit longer barrel than normal. Oh, it's a machine gun now. But my AR-15 that's been shortened to be about, this size. No, it's a pistol. Yeah. But it shoots 5.56. It's a pistol. Okay, but what about this pistol that can put a hole in somebody the size of a fucking melon? It's from the Flintlock area. It can. You don't even need to fucking run it through the background check to buy that thing. Anyone can own it. You like I said, you don't even have to get a fucking. You don't have to go through a background check. People don't realize how. I can buy a Flintlock rifle I could buy a musket on the internet and have it sent to my house. And the funny thing is, people don't realize how devastating a musket is. Oh yeah. It's smoothbore, so it's not accurate. But once it hits, there's
You're fucked.
There's no surviving that.
Yeah, you're dead.
But I had a point for this, but like me, I was picking apart that whole thing you were saying right now because not because I'm anti-gun, but because I'm pro-logic, and that logic is fucking stupid to me. It still seems stupid to me, even though we walked through it. But it's just going back to my point about the Second Amendment. The Founding Fathers didn't give a fuck about who or what should own rifles or what a rifle is. All they knew is we just fought a bloody fucking war with the strongest military in the fucking world because the government got corrupt.
Yeah.
This can happen again. And Dave Chappelle said it first. The First Amendment is the most important one. It is our most but it is the one that we must use the most. But in case the first one doesn't work, there's the second.
Right. And that's my argument to anyone who always says, oh, well, the founding fathers, like that argument like you said, oh, they didn't know about machine guns. Right. But you know what they did? Sure, no one knew about machine guns back then. But you know what they did know? They did know that if you're going to take on a tyrannical government, you have to do it with the military capability that they are going to come at you with. Laser fucking guns haven't been invented yet, but does that mean that the bearable arm of a laser gun, people can't have laser guns?
We're saying that right now.
Yeah, we're saying that right now. No, the whole point of the Second Amendment is to be able to fight a corrupt tyrannical government and maintain a semi-fair advantage to do so. Now, granted, look,
we're in an era where that doesn't exactly. Yeah, I like people to say, "Hey, what's your fucking AR-15 gonna do to an F-16?" Hey, that F-16 probably has a family.
Right. Well, at the end of the day, here's the other thing. If there were to be a let's say a tyrannical what?
Like a bug on me or something.
Well, let's say there were to be a tyrannical, corrupt government, right? And the civilian population would rise up and rebel against them and fight them, okay? The government is not likely to use F-16s and air support to kill groups of, armed civilians.
You know who else wouldn't do that? An invading force.
Right, exactly.
Because if you're invading, you want that infrastructure.
Yeah, you want the infrastructure. The government will not bite its nose or cut off its nose to spite its face.
Unless it 100% knows it's going to fail.
Yeah, that's a different story. But then you also have that guy sitting behind the cockpit. Is he really going to drop a bomb on, maybe some armed quote-unquote insurgents, but then also they're in a neighborhood? Like, it's one thing to do it to people you don't fucking know and don't look like you.
Like we said in that last one.
Yep. It's one thing to do it to people in another country that don't believe the shit you believe. But to do it to your home, there's a lot of fucking calculus that has to take place there in that guy's mind. And at the end of the day, it's not a guarantee that he's going to pull the trigger on that. And it's really likely that he probably won't pull the trigger on that. Most of the combat will be infantry-style combat. Mm-hmm. That's what would likely happen in a Civil War type deal. Yes, they're going to put the tanks out and the APCs, but are the tanks going to be fucking leveling towns? Probably not.
They probably would send tanks into like cities because they don't want to damage the roads.
Again, do you want to have to rebuild all this shit when this is over? Probably not. Like I said, once they realize they're going to lose, sure, all bets are off.
That's another argument my sister had was about the whole. Like she was like, "Oh, do you think anybody should own a fucking missile launcher?"
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm like, if they can afford it.
Yeah, well, that's the other thing
well, let me get to it. Like, it's like, what do you? He goes, oh, like nobody can afford it. Look, because the whole encouragement with the Ukraine happened. Mm-hmm. I'm like, so the Ukraine are fucking up the Russian tanks with the Javelin missile system. Do you know what the cost of a Javelin missile is? Mm-hmm. The thing, the launcher.
Yeah,
is like I think $350,000. The launcher is $350,000. You know what else the launcher is? One-time use.
Yeah.
Do you know how much the Javelin missile cost? From $800,000 to like $1.3 million per missile, if I remember correctly.
It says that the commonly cited estimate so the Army budgets for a single Javelin missile $197,000 to $200,000 for a single missile.
I thought it was like, oh, am I thinking the launcher was $1 million then?
Let's see. Said the Pentagon's budget for 2021 estimated cost of a Javelin missile included the launch system at $178,000. The cost of a replacement missile was estimated at $78,000. So basically, what they do is
I saw something different that said that.
Oh, 2022, 2023 Javelin missile cost. Okay, so it says here.
I must have been
One unit cost. Okay, the G model missile only, $216,000.
Yeah, I was mistaken then. I thought that was something else.
Okay, so the missile only, the G model missile only is $216,000 as of 2021. The missile only export cost is $240,000. The lightweight CLU only, which I think is the launch unit, that's $250,000. So you're looking at,
which is also a one-time use.
yeah. Well, you're basically looking at. No, I think you can. I think you can reload it now. I think that was one of the things that they made it like the Army was going to be pissed and they were going to buy something else since they couldn't reload it. Mm-hmm. So I think that's what it's an anti-tank missile system. Okay, it's a MANPADS, it's a MANTAS, man portable anti-tank system. Blah, blah, blah. Features automatic infrared guidance. In contrast to wire guided like system uses it's got a high explosive anti-tank warhead. Uses a tandem charge warhead, blah, 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 blah. Says as of 2019, according to claims by the manufacturer, the Javelin has been used in 5,000 successful engagements.
Are all those from the Ukraine?
No, that was before.
And Afghanistan?
Yeah, it was from 2003 and rose to prominence in the Russo-Ukrainian War. Let's see. It's a soft launch, fire and forget, which is fucking cool.
Well, let's look at the one before it, the AT-4.
Okay. So technically this replaced the M47 Dragon anti-tank missile system. But the AT-4 is another, it's like a smaller version. That's a one-use version.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that one's a lot cheaper.
Yeah.
Those ones cost about $1,500.
Yeah, but it's also not as effective as a fucking Javelin.
Mm-hmm. But this could actually be used against aircraft though.
That's technically true.
If you can aim.
If you can aim it, yeah. Like a
the Javelin has to lock on, and I don't think it's made to lock on helicopters yet.
Yeah.
Or is it?
Well, it's only for anti-tank, so I don't think it can hit fucking aircraft.
But anyway, the point of the thing is, if you want to shoot these fucking advanced missiles, you're gonna need a fucking big ass budget.
Right. Well, and then that's the other thing. Okay, like to buy a fully automatic a saw, right? To buy a fucking M249 saw, those are like $10,000 a piece. So, yeah, it'd be great if we could have those, but you can't fucking afford that. We can't afford to pay $10,000 for a fucking machine gun. And then on top of that, 5.56 ammo ain't fucking cheap. You're popping a 250 round drum magazine and you're gonna blow through that while you're just fucking around. That's $10,000 for the fucking weapon system. And then you probably had 250 rounds, you probably just blew a 5.56, man. You probably that's probably fucking $400 worth of ammo. Like, nobody can afford to shoot this fucking thing.
Well, let's look at a 308. It costs $1.28 per round to shoot it.
Okay. For what?
A 308.
Okay, so $1.28 times 250. Well, it'd be less if it was 308, but
again, let's talk about some logistics. 6.5 Creedmoor.
Okay.
Cost. Which is not as often used, but it is a hunting round. So it's not obviously what the military is going to use.
Right.
308 is what the military mostly uses for their DMRs.
Yeah.
Except with the new ones being fucking that 6.8, was it?
Yeah, the SPC.
Yeah. Hold on.
So
This is an expensive ass rifle.
what?
The ones that can shoot 6.5 Creedmoor. It's not giving me a breakdown like they did with the last one, but it's looking about 84 cents per round. That doesn't make sense.
No ammo. Not automatic. Great. Now I just got flagged by the fucking.
Now let's look
Okay,
at
so it's $42 for 20 cartridges. Mm-hmm. This is at for precision or for performance. It's like $30 for 20 cartridges. So it's like what, $1.50 a round, basically.
now the 50 BMG, which is what the military would use for long range.
Yeah, sure.
That's about $3 a round.
Yeah, okay.
They don't use slap rounds anymore, right? They got rid of that.
Yeah, I don't know what the fuck they
Yeah,
use
that was the round that almost killed Kentucky Ballistics.
now. Yeah.
It kind of hurt. It kind of makes me mad that this question has to be asked. Is 50 BMG legal for hunting? If it's in my backyard, I can shoot it.
Yep, exactly. Whatever the fuck I want. But anyways,
I was just saying, like, what we're trying to say is that it's ridiculous to think that everybody's gonna have a missile launcher if you get rid of these guns alone.
right. Yeah, okay, and that's the other thing. Yes, there should be regulation in the sense of
Don't get me wrong. Raytheon is not gonna sell me if
Yeah.
I come up to them with $4 million right now, they're not gonna sell me, some random citizen, a missile launcher.
yeah, they're just not going to do it.
No.
Because fuck us.
And on top of that, it's probably in their contract with the U.S. government. Hey,
Yeah.
you only sell to us.
Yeah, basically. So, yeah, it would be cool to say that we could own full. Listen, I think that's great. Now, will this case continue? No, it'll probably be overturned at a higher court, and then it'll get appealed probably all the way up to the Supreme
It's like
Court.
it happens here every time in California.
Right. So it'll go to the Supreme Court, and then they'll have to decide. Do I think that they would fucking actually allow this? Probably not, because they aren't going to want to have their name on this shit. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, they already have their name on this shit for giving the president's carte blanche to do crime.
Basically, they don't, which, well, that's great. That's great for them. So, I don't know. I guess we'll just have to wait and see what the fuck happens.
But the thing, they keep pushing them back because the Supreme Court does not want to, like I said, they do not want to rule on a gun case.
Yeah, they don't want to
Because
do it.
they have to follow the Constitution.
Right, and they don't want to.
So if a gun law comes up, they have to go by the Second Amendment.
Right, yeah.
And the Second Amendment is going to destroy all these gun laws.
Right, yeah.
It's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous. But hey, maybe we'll get to have some cool shit here in California again one day.
Not until we need more Democrats to leave to Texas before that can happen.
Yeah, maybe.
But then Texas would become a blue state.
But that's not even true, because what we need is the Supreme Court to just do their fucking job.
It's not going to happen.
Oh, I know, but I'm just saying that's what we really need.
That's like asking a ginger to have a soul.
Oh, fuck you. I mean, I don't have one, but still, fuck you. Anyways, all right.
You can't ask them to do something that's against their nature.
Oh, wow.
I'm talking about the Supreme Court.
Unbelievable. You're also referring to gingers. I see that look in your eye, you son of a bitch. Anyways.
Or who am I affecting?
Wow.
Who am I offending? The gingers?
Wow. Okay. All right. Anyways, all right. Well, you got anything else to add?
I hate your guts.
Oh, fuck yeah, me too. I hate my guts as well. Anyways, all right, well, fuck it. Let's move on to the next episode of No Party Preference. Oh, wait, well, we're still recording this one. But anyways,
I was like, that was weird.
it was a weird it was like a half plug. I don't know. Well, if you want to listen to more, you can go to GameRageMagazine.com. You can follow us on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine, Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. You can also go to YouTube, Game Rage Magazine. And you can also follow us on, well, you can follow Frank, our anime_syndicate_podcast. And you can go listen to Anime Syndicate. You can follow Adam at All Gas No Trash Official on Instagram and listen to the All Gas No Trash podcast. That's it for us. We'll catch you guys on the next one, and where hopefully we will be able to have the right to own fully automatic weapons, but not be able to afford them.
That was the latest episode of the Central Unintelligence Podcast. Don't forget, subscribe and like on Instagram and TikTok at Game Rage Magazine. We're also on Twitter/X at Game Rage Mag. Also our website, www.GameRageMagazine.com.